Tired of staring at a blank canvas, wondering what makes your art special? You feel it, don't you? That frustrating gap between the incredible, vibrant art you see online and the work you're actually creating. You're practicing, you're putting in the hours, but your art still feels a little generic, like it could have been made by anyone. You see other artists with a style so distinct, so them that you could spot their work from a mile away, and you want that. You want that recognition, that confidence, and let's be honest, you want that marketability. You've probably been told to find your art style like it's a lost treasure hiding under a rock. But what if I told you the secret isn't finding it, but stealing it? Now, before you click away and get all in a huff, hear me out. I'm not talking about plagiarism or theft. I'm talking about a process of strategic analysis and creative remixing that all of your favorite artists have used. There's really no such thing as a truly original idea. So, in the next few minutes, I'm going to show you how the right way to still like an artist. I'll break it down into three simple, actionable steps that will take you from feeling lost and generic to building a signature style that's not only unique to you, but also ready to sell. That feeling of being unoriginal is one of the biggest roadblocks for any artist. It's a total creativity killer. It leads to endless doom scrolling, where you see all this amazing work, and instead of feeling inspired, you feel defeated. You start comparing your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 20. This self doubt makes it impossible to feel confident in your work, and even harder to share it with the world. And there's the business side of it. If your art doesn't have a recognizable style, it's incredibly hard to build a brand and monetize your passion. A cohesive, consistent style is what grabs a potential buyer's attention on Etsy. It's what makes someone stop scrolling on social media and say, wow, I love this. I need to follow them. It's what allows you to build a true fan base of people who connect with you, your specific artistic voice. Without that signature look, you're just another artist in a sea of millions shouting into the void. But what if you could change that? What if you had a reliable system to develop a style that feels authentic, looks professional, and attracts the audience you've always dreamed of? That's exactly what we're going to start building today. It's not magic, it's a method. It's a process that turns imitation into innovation and gets you going.
All right. The first step is to stop passively consuming art and start actively analyzing it. I want you to become a collector, not of art, but of ideas. So, your job is to curate your influences with intentions. So, here's your task. You're going to choose 3 to 5 artists whose work you absolutely adore. They should be artists making the kind of art you want to be making, especially if you're aiming for that cute, cartoony style. Don't just pick them because they're popular. Pick them because their art speaks directly to your soul. It's just magical to you. And as you can see, I'm creating my boards on Pinterest. I'm not sure what I was thinking I was going to be able to record while I did this, hence the lovely head in the shot, that we can just ignore that and pretend it's not there. But I'm using Pinterest and I'm going through and looking for artists that I like. So I want you to choose 3 to 5 artists whose work you absolutely adore. Now, for each artist, you're going to become a detective. And if you don't know, especially different artists, you can just go in and look up some different styles. You can search things like traditional art, cartoon style art, stylized character design. If you have a specific thing you already know you like, go ahead and search that. And then you're going to become a detective after you spend some time creating your board. You're not just looking at the finished piece, you're deconstructing it to find the ingredients that are going to make up your style. And then you can keep this all on one board if you like, or Pinterest does have sections in their boards yet. I've not played around with it enough to figure it out, so mine are all just jammed in one board. And you're going to create a study board, and you can do this on Notion or wherever you would actually like. I just chose Pinterest because I have the most experience with it. And now once you have this board, don't spend too long, maybe 20, 30 minutes. You're going to start breaking down the art styles that you collected into 4 components. You're going to look at line quality. Look closely at the lines. Are they thick and bold? Are they thin and delicate? Are they clean and digital? Are they scratchy and textured? Do they outline everything or just certain shapes? Take notes and maybe even try to replicate some of the line work on a practice sheet to see if you notice anything you enjoy. And on that note, I am attaching a free workbook for you guys on this video on how to find your art with some exercises in it to how to find your art style. That's a great companion for this video if you want to print that out and have it with you after you get your boards designed. That way you have something to take notes on. All right, now let's talk about shape language. How do the artists you collected, how do they build their characters? How do they build their objects? A lot of times you'll see simple foundational shapes. Is there a lot of soft round circles, bean shapes to create that cute feeling? Or are your collections more atomically correct and lean towards the more realistic side of things? Are you finding yourself collecting designs that are more angular and dynamic? Pay close attention to the proportions. Do their characters have huge heads and eyes? Are they more realistic? This is the building blocks of their style. Now we need to talk about color palette. This is a massive part of an art style's identity. And it's almost like a speed hack when you're trying to develop your style early on. If you use a cohesive color palette across your designs, it's going to make your work automatically look like it belongs together a little bit more. So while you're still learning and still figuring things out, if you can do a cohesive color palette, that's going to help along the way. So do the artists you collected use bright, saturated, candy-like colors? Are their palettes more muted, pastel, or earthy? Analyze how they use color. Do they stick to a limited color scheme for harmony or use a wide, vibrant range? Take screenshots of their palettes and save them. Many digital art programs even let you create a new palette right from an image. And finally, we need to talk about that special sauce, those extra details. This is going to be the unique element that makes their work so distinct. It could be the way they render super sparkly and expressive eyes. It might be a specific texture they always use, a recurring motif like stars or flowers, or how they use light and shadow to create a soft, dreamy mood. This is often the most subtle but most important ingredient. By the end of this step, you shouldn't just have copies of their art. You should have something much more powerful. A collection of dissected parts. A library of line styles. You should have an array of shapes, a catalog of color palettes you enjoy, and an understanding of those little details that make a style memorable. You're stealing the thinking behind the style, not the style itself. Now that you've gathered all of your ingredients, it's time to head in to the lab, to the kitchen, to the couch, and start experimenting. This is where you start to remix. And it's the most crucial step for turning influence into originality. Remember, every new idea is just a mashup or a remix of previous ideas. Your goal here isn't to create a finished masterpiece. The goal is to play, experiment, and see what happens when you combine the elements you've collected in new, unexpected ways. You're gonna find weird, clunky, and ugly art comes out of these experiments. But that's okay and a necessary part of the process. Here's a practical exercise to get you started. Take a simple subject, let's say a cartoon fox. Now trying that fox using the line art style from artist A, the color palette from artist B, and the expressive eye style you identified from artist C. What happens? Maybe it looks great. More likely it looks a little weird. That's okay. Now, swap out an element. Keep the line art and the eyes, but try the color palette from artist D. How does that change the mood? Now try drawing a different subject, like a magical potion bottle, using a different mix of stylistic traits. This stage is all about volume. The more you draw, the more you experiment, you're building muscle memory and developing your artistic intuition. You'll start to notice that certain combinations just feel right to you. Maybe you loved the bold line art from one artist but find their colors too harsh, so you pair it with a softer palette you found somewhere else. You might discover you love how one artist draws hands but prefer the simple body shapes of another. You might find yourself falling in love with textures. This is where your personal taste start to drive the process. You're no longer copying, you're curating and making it your own. You're making active choices, filtering all these stolen ideas through your own unique perspective and lens on the world. It's in this messy, playful, experimental phase that the first glimmers of your signature style will begin to emerge. It's not about looking exactly like your heroes. It's about learning to see the world through their eyes and then combining those viewpoints to create your own. All right, if you enjoyed this breakdown and it's helping you see a clear path forward, do me a quick favor and hit that subscribe button. My whole goal here is to give you the practical skills and confidence you need to build a successful art career. We're all about turning that creative passion into a real, sustainable profession that you can put on products and start earning yourself an income. So make sure to join us. So now you've analyzed your heroes and experimented with their techniques. The final step is integration. This is where you shift from your conscious studies and your playful experiments to creating your own original work over and over again. Through the remixing process in step 2, certain things should have started to stick. You'll find yourself naturally gravitating towards a specific way of drawing eyes, a certain line weight, or a particular color combination. These are the elements that resonate with you, the ones that feel authentic to your art. They're the building blocks of your very own style. Now, your job is simple, but not easy. You have to make a lot of art. Consistency is everything. The goal is to draw so much that you stop consciously thinking, time to use artist A's line art. Instead, those influences become internalized. They blend with your own personal quirks and drawing habits until they're no longer stolen, but simply yours. Your style is the thread that connects all of your work, and you create that thread by weaving it in every single day. This is also the step where you refine. As you create finished pieces, you'll start making small adjustments. You might find a Procreate brush that gives you the exact texture you are trying to emulate, making it your own. You might develop a shorthand for drawing certain features. This is your artistic voice getting clearer and stronger with every piece you complete. And this refined, consistent style is your most powerful asset for making money. When you have a body of work that is clearly and recognizably yours, you have a brand. That's what enables you to create cohesive sets of stickers, an attractive print collection for your Etsy shop, or a portfolio that makes someone want to commission or license your artwork. They're paying for your unique interpretation of the world, which you will have built through this very process. So, let's recap the 3 steps to stealing your signature style. First, you analyze, becoming a master collector of the ideas, techniques, and palettes from your artistic heroes. Second, you experiment. You're playfully remixing those stolen parts to discover new combinations that truly resonate with you. And third, you're going to integrate, creating a ton of original work to refine those elements until they become a natural, authentic part of your own artistic voice. Remember, your style isn't some mythical destination you arrive at one day. It's a journey. It's an evolution. The artist you are today has a style, and the artist you'll be in 5 years will have a style that's an even more refined version of it. It will change and grow as you do. So embrace your influences, celebrate the artists who inspire you, understand that learning from them isn't cheating. It's the tradition that all art is built upon. Stop waiting to find your style and start building it, one stolen piece at a time. Before you go, I want to hear from you. Let me know in the comments which 1 or 2 artists are your biggest style inspirations right now. Sharing your influences is a huge part of this process. And if you're ready to take the next step and learn how to turn that style into sales, you can check out this video right here on turning your style into sellable digital products. Thanks so much for watching. Now go make some art.